The moment has come for you to understand why the world around you seems to be shifting. Why, out of nowhere, it feels as though every conversation, every glance, and every opportunity is turning your way. You are witnessing the growing attention, the rising influence that seems to follow you wherever you go. This is not a coincidence. It is a sign that you are being sensed by something greater than yourself, something divine. People are noticing you not because of luck, not because of your efforts, but because God's hand is moving in your life. This is your confirmation, the moment you've been waiting for, and it's undeniable. The world is taking notice, not out of random happenstance, but because you are in the process of aligning with your true purpose. When we talk about Egypt, what do we really mean, Egypt? In this context is a symbol, a metaphor for widespread recognition. In the biblical narrative, Egypt was the place of both captivity and redemption. It was a land of both struggle and power, where destiny was woven through trials and tribulations. In the same way, the attention you are receiving now may seem overwhelming, but it is not just about people recognizing you in passing. This is a divine confirmation, a shift that is making waves in ways you cannot fully comprehend. The world around you in this moment is beginning to speak of you. Just as Egypt was known far and wide, your influence is spreading beyond your control. This recognition goes beyond the surface. It taps into something deeper, a truth that you are beginning to realize you were chosen. Why is this happening now? What does it mean that even Egypt is talking about you? It means that the time for your divine awakening has come. The very fact that you are here reading these words or hearing this message at this exact moment is no accident. The timing of this message is not arbitrary. It is a divine appointment. You were not meant to see it yesterday, nor will you be ready for it tomorrow. The chosen one's journey unfolds at exactly the right time, and that time is now. Your spirit, your heart, your mind have all been carefully prepared, even when you may not have fully understood the process. God has been working in the unseen, positioning you for a season where the attention and influence you're receiving are not just for your own benefit, but for a higher purpose. The growing recognition is a reflection of your inner transformation. This attention is not rooted in the need for validation or the desire to prove yourself. It is a result of living in alignment with your truth, of allowing the essence of who you are to shine through without effort or struggle. Your value and impact no longer depend on the approval of others or the relentless pursuit of success. They are emerging from a place of clarity, presence, and integrity. You have reached a point where your energy, your authenticity, and your inner peace are becoming magnetic forces that naturally draw others to you. People are no longer just seeing the surface, they are feeling the depth of your presence. You are not here to compete, to fight for attention, or to hustle endlessly to prove your worth. True influence does not come from endless effort. It comes from being fully present, from showing up as your true self and letting the energy of alignment do the work. As you step into this newfound state of authenticity, doors that were once closed to you will begin to open. The systems that once sought to control you will no longer have the same grip for you, are now in the flow of something greater, something unstoppable. The world is responding to the energy you are putting out, and this is only the beginning. As you stand at the crossroads of your journey, you may feel an overwhelming sense of change unfolding around you. It is a powerful moment, and yet it often comes with a sense of quiet calm, as if the universe itself is telling you that the time for struggle has passed. For so long, you may have believed that your worth was tied to the battles you fought, the effort you put forth, and the validation you sought from others. You've worked hard, pushing through every challenge, trying to prove your value in a world that often rewards speed and productivity. But now, something different is happening within you. The struggle that once defined your existence is beginning to fade, and in its place, you are being called to embrace presence, to be fully aware, fully aligned with your truth, and fully in the moment. It is time to shift from measuring your worth through external validation to valuing the clarity and integrity that resides deep within your soul. The world has taught you that you must constantly hustle, that your value comes from the results you produce and the recognition you receive. But as you step into divine alignment, you begin to realize that these external markers of success are fleeting. True worth is not determined by how much you achieve, but by how deeply you understand and honor your authentic self. The power of living authentically without the need to prove your worth to others is a force unlike any other. It's a power that radiates from within, unaffected by the noise of the world. The moment you stop chasing external approval and start living in alignment with your inner truth, something extraordinary happens. You begin to access a wellspring of energy and clarity that was always there, but hidden beneath the layers of self-doubt and striving. When you live fully in your truth, when you no longer need to put on a facade or bend yourself to fit into someone else's expectations, you unlock the door to true influence. Influence does not come from effort. It comes from being aligned with your purpose and the divine energy that flows through you. This is the essence of divine alignment. True influence is not something that can be earned or achieved. It is something that is already within you, waiting to be recognized. It is the quiet authority that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and how you are meant to serve the world. The more you align with your truth, the more your presence speaks volumes without you ever needing to say a word. This is not about competing for attention or proving yourself. It is about living in a way that naturally attracts the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances. When you align with your divine purpose, the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Recognizing this shift, this divine movement towards you, is a crucial part of your journey. It is not just a feeling or a passing moment. It is a real and tangible force at work in your life. The doors you once struggled to open are now ready to swing wide open, and the opportunities you've been waiting for are already on their way. But the key to stepping into this new chapter of your life is to recognize the shift as it happens. The universe is not only nudging you forward, it is preparing to align everything around you with your higher purpose. This is not a time to question or doubt. It is not a time to second-guess the path you are on. It is a time to trust in the divine timing that is unfolding before you. For so long, you have waited for this moment. You have prayed for a breakthrough, for a sign that everything you've worked for is leading to something greater. And now, the universe is sending that sign. The shift has already begun, and it is moving toward you with grace and power. What you have long awaited is already on its way. But to truly step into this divine alignment, you must be willing to recognize it and embrace it fully. Recognizing the shift means letting go of any lingering attachments to the old ways of thinking. The belief that you must struggle to earn your place. The belief that your value is tied to what others think of you. This is your moment to release the old paradigm of hustle and struggle and embrace the flow of divine grace. It means acknowledging that you are worthy simply because you are, that your value is inherent and not dependent on external circumstances. This shift is not about doing more. It is about being more. It is about stepping into a space of trust, of surrender, and of allowing yourself to be guided by the divine force that is at work in your life. The importance of aligning with this shift cannot be overstated. When you resist the pull of divine alignment, you are essentially denying yourself the gifts that the universe is offering you. You may feel tempted to hold on to the old patterns, the familiar ways of doing things, but these are not the ways that will lead you to your highest potential. The old systems, the old structures are collapsing, and in their place, something new is being birthed. You are a part of that new beginning, and your alignment with this shift is what will allow you to step fully into your purpose. As you embrace this divine movement, you will find that the doors that were once closed to you begin to open effortlessly. The people who were once distant or unaware of your potential will now begin to see you clearly. Opportunities will begin to flow to you with ease, and you will find yourself stepping into spaces you never thought possible. This is the power of divine alignment. When you live in harmony with your true self, the world begins to respond to you in kind. In recognizing and aligning with this divine shift, you are stepping into your rightful place in the universe. You are no longer a passive participant in your own life. You are actively co-creating with the divine, allowing yourself to be guided by a higher power that sees the bigger picture. This is the moment when you stop living by the rules of the world and begin living by the laws of the universe. The shift is not just external, it is internal, a complete realignment of your inner world values and beliefs. When you align your heart, mind, and spirit with your divine purpose, you begin to create a life that is not only successful, but deeply fulfilling. So, as the divine movement continues toward you, trust in the process. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Recognize the signs and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The shift is happening, and with each step you take in alignment with your truth, you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. Your divine purpose is calling you forward, and now is the time to embrace it with full confidence and trust in the journey that lies ahead. As you step into the divine alignment that is unfolding in your life, it's important to understand that your journey is not one of passive waiting. It is not simply about sitting back and hoping that things will work out on their own. Instead, this is a time for conscious participation in the flow of your growth. It's about recognizing the opportunities for engagement that are being placed before you and stepping forward with intention. Every action you take, every decision you make carries weight in the divine unfolding of your destiny. And as you actively engage in this flow, you will begin to see the doors that were once closed begin to open. The universe is not asking you to sit still in uncertainty. It is asking you to show up to participate fully in the process of your own growth and to trust in the path that has been laid before you. In this new chapter, it is vital to recognize that the small, everyday actions you take are not insignificant. These actions, like liking a video, subscribing to a community, or leaving a comment, are not random gestures. They are powerful symbols of your conscious involvement in the divine journey. Each time you engage, you are aligning yourself more deeply with the flow of growth. These actions signify your willingness to move in sync with the energy that is guiding you, and they help to solidify your place in the divine plan. When you take these steps with intention, you are not just passively observing the process, you are actively co-creating it. Your participation matters. Each moment you engage helps build the momentum of your own spiritual and personal growth. Understand that nothing in this universe happens by accident. Your engagement in the divine flow is not a matter of luck. It is a result of the conscious choices you are making to be present and to align with what is unfolding. This is the key to understanding your true power. It is not something that is given to you randomly or by chance, but something that is activated through your own actions. When you take a step forward in faith, the universe responds by meeting you with the tools, people, and opportunities you need to move further along your path. It's like a dance when you step in rhythm with the divine flow. The entire universe follows your lead, creating a harmonious alignment that moves you closer to your highest potential. Your participation is what empowers this flow to move forward. The energy that you put out into the world, the conscious decisions you make to show up and engage, are what propel you further into the manifestation of your divine purpose. You are not simply waiting for something to happen, you are making it happen. Every small action, whether it is as simple as clicking a button or as significant as making a life-changing decision, adds to the collective energy of your journey. This energy builds momentum, pulling you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. And as you continue to participate in this flow, you will find that the process becomes more effortless, more natural, as if the universe itself is guiding your every move. This is the power of conscious participation. It is the recognition that you are not a passive observer of your own life, but an active participant in the unfolding of your destiny. It is about stepping into your role as a co-creator with the divine and understanding that every choice you make is an opportunity to align with the higher purpose that is calling you forward. As you engage more fully in this process, you will find that the path becomes clearer, the steps more certain, and the results more profound. This is not a journey of mere happenstance. It is a journey of intentional co-creation. And as you move further into this journey, it is crucial to understand that this is the moment of confirmation for you, the chosen one. You have been waiting for this moment, perhaps without even knowing it. You have been working, struggling, striving, and now at last, you are being called into alignment with your divine purpose. This is the moment you have been preparing for. This is the moment when everything begins to fall into place, when the pieces of the puzzle that once seemed so scattered and disconnected begin to form a beautiful picture. It is easy to look at this moment with excitement, with anticipation. But it is equally important to rest in the awareness of divine purpose and presence. This is not just a moment of external recognition. It is a moment of internal peace. It is the moment when you finally come to realize that all the struggles, all the challenges, all the waiting were not in vain. They were part of a greater plan. You have been guided even when you didn't fully understand where the path was leading. And now, as you stand at the threshold of your divine purpose, you can rest in the knowing that this is exactly where you were meant to be. Resting in the awareness of divine purpose means allowing yourself to breathe deeply and trust in the process. It means letting go of the fear of the unknown and the need to control the outcome. You don't have to fight for your place in the world any longer. The universe has already paved the way for you, and now it is your turn to step forward with trust and faith. This is the moment of confirmation that you are on the right path. It is not about proving yourself to others or chasing after fleeting achievements. It is about standing in your truth and allowing your presence to speak for itself. When you rest in the awareness of divine presence, you stop striving for validation from the outside world. You realize that the true validation comes from within. Your worth is not dependent on the opinions of others or on the achievements you accumulate. It is grounded in the simple fact that you are aligned with your divine purpose and that you are living authentically. This realization brings with it a profound sense of peace because you no longer need to chase after anything. Everything you need is already within you, already unfolding around you. As you rest in this awareness, you will find that your influence grows not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You no longer need to convince anyone of your worth. You no longer need to prove your value through actions or accolades. Your very presence becomes a testament to the divine alignment that you have achieved. This is the true power of divine confirmation. It is the peace that comes with knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to do. So, as you continue to engage in the divine flow of growth, remember that this is your moment of confirmation. Trust in the process and know that the universe is supporting you every step of the way. Rest in the knowing that you are aligned with your highest purpose and that all that is meant for you is already on its way. Your journey is unfolding in divine timing, and with each conscious step you take, you are moving closer to the fulfillment of your divine destiny. It is crucial to understand that breaking free from societal struggles is not just about changing your external circumstances. It is about shifting your internal beliefs, letting go of the deeply ingrained notions that have defined how you approach work success and self-worth. For so long, the world has taught you that your worth must be earned through struggle, that only through relentless effort, sacrifice, and exhaustion can you prove your value. This belief has been passed down through generations, woven into the fabric of society, and reinforced in every aspect of modern life. We have been told that only those who work tirelessly, those who sacrifice their time and energy without question, are worthy of success. But now, as you step into alignment with your higher purpose, it is time to challenge this belief. You are not defined by how much you work or how much you suffer. You are defined by your truth, your authenticity, and your alignment with the divine flow that is moving through your life. The belief that worth must be earned through exhaustion and effort is a lie. It is a myth that keeps people trapped in a cycle of striving, of pushing themselves beyond their limits, and of feeling like they are never enough. It is a belief that creates burnout, anxiety, and a sense of inadequacy, because no matter how much you do, it never feels like enough. But this is not how the divine works. The universe does not measure your worth by the amount of sweat you produce or the number of hours you dedicate to a task. Your worth is inherent. It is not earned. It is already yours, simply because you exist. When you let go of this societal belief and embrace the truth of your intrinsic value, you free yourself from the need to prove anything to anyone. You stop chasing after validation, and you start living in alignment with your authentic self. Redefining success means letting go of the outdated notions that have defined achievement for so long. Success is not about pressure, speed, or sacrifice. It is not about working yourself to the bone and hoping for a reward. True success is about living with purpose, with intention, and with balance. It is about creating a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful, rather than one that is built on external measures of success. The world may continue to value speed and hustle, but you no longer need to conform to those standards. Instead, you can redefine success on your own terms. Success is living in alignment with your purpose, finding joy in the process, and knowing that every step you take is a step toward your highest good. It is about being present in the moment and allowing things to unfold naturally without the need to force them into being. The importance of pausing and reflecting cannot be overstated in this journey. In a society that glorifies constant motion and productivity, taking the time to pause and reflect may seem counterintuitive, but it is in these moments of stillness that the most profound insights arise. When you pause, you give yourself the space to reconnect with your inner truth, to evaluate your priorities, and to challenge the outdated systems that have been dictating how you live. The constant rush to achieve, to accumulate, and to prove yourself has clouded your ability to truly see what matters most. By stepping back, you gain the clarity needed to make conscious, intentional decisions that are in alignment with your highest purpose. Pausing is not a sign of weakness or laziness. It is a powerful act of self-awareness. It is the courage to slow down and reassess, to step out of the cycle of constant striving and to choose a path that aligns with your inner truth. As you break free from the societal pressures that have shaped your life, it is important to choose alignment over struggle. The world often tells you that true power comes from being loud, being forceful, and constantly pushing yourself to the limit. But this is not the true essence of power. True power comes from alignment, the quiet, steady strength that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you are headed. Alignment is not about forcing things to happen. It is about allowing them to unfold naturally. It is about trusting the process and knowing that everything you need is already within you. When you align with your truth, you no longer feel the need to exert force to achieve your goals. You simply show up. Stay true to yourself and let the universe do the rest. The concept of quiet authority is one that may seem foreign in a world that values loudness and dominance. But true leadership is not about making a lot of noise or seeking attention. True leadership comes from the ability to remain grounded, to stay calm under pressure, and to make decisions from a place of clarity rather than desperation. When you are aligned with your purpose, your presence becomes your power. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to compete for attention. Your energy speaks for itself, and others are drawn to it. This quiet authority is the essence of authentic leadership. It is the ability to lead with grace, to inspire without forcing, and to create change without disrupting. As you embrace alignment over struggle, you begin to recognize the power that comes from stillness and clarity. You realize that true influence does not come from exerting force. It comes from embodying your truth and allowing that truth to guide you. Choosing alignment over struggle also means embracing balance as a form of intelligence. In a world that celebrates overwork and sacrifice, balance may seem like an elusive goal. But balance is not a luxury. It is a necessity for sustainable growth and well-being. Struggling and pushing yourself beyond your limits may yield temporary results, but it comes at a cost. Burnout, fatigue, and stress are the inevitable consequences of a life lived in constant struggle. But when you choose balance, you are choosing a life of sustainability. You are choosing to honor your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs, and to create a life that nurtures all aspects of your being. Balance is not about doing less. It is about doing things with intention and wisdom. It is about recognizing when to push forward and when to step back, when to exert effort and when to rest. This balance is the key to long-term success and fulfillment. It is the intelligence of knowing that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that true growth comes from living in harmony with your body, mind, and spirit. In choosing alignment over struggle, you are stepping into a new paradigm of leadership and influence. You are breaking free from the societal belief that success must be earned through exhaustion and sacrifice. Instead, you are embracing the quiet power of alignment, the strength that comes from living in harmony with your truth. You are no longer driven by external forces or the need to prove yourself. Instead, you are guided by your inner wisdom, your divine purpose, and the clarity that comes from living authentically. This shift will not only transform your own life, it will inspire others to step into their own alignment, creating a ripple effect of peace, clarity, and purpose in the world around you. And as you continue on this path, you will find that true power does not come from struggle, but from the quiet, steady presence of a life lived in Section 4. Inner transformation, leading to external influence. As you continue to walk in alignment with your purpose, it is important to recognize that true transformation begins from within. While external changes, such as new opportunities, relationships, or achievements, are often celebrated, it is the internal transformation that holds the key to long-lasting, meaningful influence. The way you view yourself, the beliefs you hold, and the values that guide your decisions shape not only your actions, but also the energy you project into the world. As your inner world shifts and aligns with your highest self, you will notice that your external presence and influence begin to change as well. This transformation is not about altering the way you look or changing superficial behaviors. It is about recalibrating your inner compass so that it reflects your true purpose. And as your internal alignment strengthens, so too does the magnetic energy that draws others to you. When you experience an inner transformation, whether it is a shift in your values, beliefs, or boundaries, the changes are reflected in your interactions with the world around you. As your thoughts and feelings begin to align with your higher purpose, you will notice that your external presence becomes more grounded, more centered, and more powerful. The energy you carry naturally attracts those who resonate with your authenticity, and you will find that opportunities and connections flow to you more easily. People are instinctively drawn to aligned individuals, not because they are forcing their influence, but because their presence emanates a steady, unshakable energy. This energy is a reflection of your inner peace and clarity. You are no longer struggling to make things happen or pushing against the flow of life. Instead, you are flowing in harmony with your divine purpose. And this effortless alignment has a powerful magnetic effect on those around you. The magnetic pull of aligned individuals cannot be understated. There is something inherently captivating about a person who has undergone an inner transformation. When your values, beliefs, and actions align, you become a living embodiment of authenticity and purpose. People are naturally drawn to this energy because it provides a sense of security and trust. Aligned individuals do not need to sell themselves or constantly seek validation. Their presence alone speaks volumes, and this is what makes them such powerful influencers. The energy they project is steady and unwavering, like a lighthouse, guiding others through turbulent seas. And as others are drawn to this light, they are inspired to step into their own alignment, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond their immediate circle. This is the power of inner transformation. By aligning with your highest self, you naturally become a beacon of light that inspires others to do the same. As your inner transformation continues to unfold, you will notice that your ability to influence and lead also grows. The external recognition that once seemed so elusive will now come naturally because you are no longer chasing it. Instead, you are focused on embodying your truth and living with integrity. And in doing so, you will find that others are drawn to your leadership, your wisdom, and your authenticity. This shift is not about force or manipulation. It is about the natural radiance that emanates from living in alignment with your divine purpose. Your inner transformation allows you to step into a role of leadership with grace and ease, and as a result, you will begin to inspire and guide those around you without effort. At the heart of this transformation is emotional regulation and self-awareness, two essential components of personal growth that directly impact your leadership and influence. As you cultivate emotional intelligence and become more attuned to your inner landscape, you will find that your ability to navigate challenging situations improves. Emotional regulation is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending to be unaffected by external circumstances. It is about recognizing your emotions, understanding where they come from, and choosing how to respond in a way that aligns with your highest self. This ability to regulate your emotions is a key factor in increasing your leadership capacity. When you are able to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity, you demonstrate a level of emotional maturity that others respect and trust. In leadership, emotional regulation plays a pivotal role in building trust and credibility. Calm individuals are often seen as more competent as they are able to maintain clarity and focus even in the most challenging situations. This is because emotional regulation allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. When you are able to remain centered and grounded, you create a sense of psychological safety for those around you. People are more likely to follow leaders who can navigate uncertainty with grace and confidence, as this inspires trust and reassurance. Whether in a professional setting, a family dynamic, or a community group, your ability to regulate your emotions creates a stable foundation for others to lean on. This is why emotional regulation is so critical to increasing your influence. It allows you to lead with calmness and clarity, qualities that are universally respected and admired. Moreover, emotional regulation is a key element of self-awareness, which further amplifies your leadership capacity. When you become more aware of your emotional triggers, your patterns of behavior, and your underlying motivations, you gain the ability to make more conscious, intentional decisions. Self-awareness allows you to reflect on your actions and responses, to understand how they impact those around you, and to adjust accordingly. This level of introspection not only strengthens your emotional regulation, but also deepens your ability to empathize with others. As you cultivate self-awareness, you become more attuned to the needs of those you lead, and you develop the emotional intelligence necessary to navigate complex relationships and situations. This heightened sensitivity to the emotions and needs of others enhances your ability to lead with compassion, understanding, and wisdom. The role of emotional regulation and self-awareness in leadership is further underscored by the way others perceive you. Calm, emotionally regulated individuals are often viewed as more competent, more reliable, and more capable of making sound decisions. This perception is not based on surface-level traits such as charisma or persuasive skills. It is based on the quiet authority that comes from inner peace and emotional intelligence. When you lead from a place of emotional regulation, you create an environment where others feel safe, valued, and supported. This sense of security fosters trust, which in turn increases your influence and ability to lead effectively. People are naturally drawn to leaders who exude calmness and clarity, and as your emotional regulation continues to strengthen, so too will your ability to inspire and guide those around you. The journey toward inner transformation is not an overnight process, and it requires a deep commitment to self-reflection, growth, and healing. But as you continue to cultivate emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and alignment with your divine purpose, you will notice that your influence grows naturally and effortlessly. You will no longer need to force your leadership or seek validation from others. Instead, your presence will speak for itself, and you will inspire those around you through the quiet authority that comes from living in alignment with your true self. This is the power of inner transformation. It is the foundation upon which lasting influence is built. And as you continue to deepen your emotional regulation and self-awareness, you will step into your leadership role with grace, confidence, and unwavering clarity. As you continue your journey of transformation, it becomes increasingly clear that the need for external validation has no place in the life you are creating. For so long, you may have been conditioned to seek approval from others, whether it was from family, peers, colleagues, or society at large. You may have measured your worth by how others perceived you, how much recognition you received, or how many achievements you could accumulate to prove your value. This external validation, while seemingly affirming in the moment, is a fleeting source of fulfillment. It never truly satisfies because it is based on external forces that are beyond your control. It is time to shift your focus inward and embrace the power of inner security. A security that is not dependent on anyone else's opinion, but on your own unwavering sense of self. The power of not seeking external validation or approval is immense. When you stop looking to others for confirmation of your worth, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing and self-doubt. No longer do you need to prove yourself or seek affirmation for your choices. Instead, you start to trust in your own judgment, your own wisdom, and your own truth. This is the essence of inner security. It is the deep knowing that you are enough, just as you are, that your worth is inherent, not something that can be earned or taken away. This inner security becomes the foundation for your influence. When you no longer seek validation from others, you step into a space of quiet power. Your energy shifts from one of desperation to one of calm assurance. You are no longer chasing after approval or trying to fit into someone else's mold. Instead, you stand firm in your authenticity, grounded in your values and beliefs. And this authentic energy is magnetic. People are drawn to it because it is rare, it is real, and it is reliable. You no longer need to perform or convince anyone of your worth. Your presence alone speaks volumes, and that presence is built on the foundation of inner security and self-trust. When you stop chasing validation and embrace your own truth, the shift in energy is palpable. You begin to radiate a sense of peace and confidence that others can feel even without words. This shift is not about becoming arrogant or detached from others. It is about releasing the need for external affirmation and trusting that your value is already established. You begin to operate from a place of sufficiency, knowing that you do not need to seek outside approval because you are already complete. This is the true power of inner security. It is the freedom to be yourself without apology, without the need for constant reassurance. And as you embrace this truth, you will find that your energy becomes more focused, more aligned, and more potent. You stop giving away your power to external forces and begin to claim it for yourself. This inner security allows you to stand in your full power and potential. You are no longer swayed by the opinions of others or affected by their judgments. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself, to justify your actions, or to seek permission. Instead, you move through life with a quiet, steady confidence that is rooted in your truth. This self-assurance is not arrogant or boastful. It is simply the natural outcome of living in alignment with your highest self. And as you embody this energy, others begin to recognize and respect you for who you truly are. They are drawn to your authenticity, your strength, and your unwavering belief in yourself. This is the magnetic power of inner security. It draws others to you without the need for effort or force. As you embrace inner security, you will also notice the disruptive power of calm. In a world that thrives on pressure, speed, and constant motion, calmness can feel like a revolutionary act. The systems we live in are built on urgency and the belief that more is always better. We are taught to push harder, do more, and never rest. But when you choose calm over chaos, you disrupt these outdated systems. You stop participating in the cycle of overwork and stress, and in doing so, you begin to shift the energy around you. Calmness is not passive, it is powerful. When you move through life with calm, steady energy, you disrupt the constant noise of the world. You challenge the systems that thrive on pressure and fear by refusing to participate in them. Non-compliance with burnout is a powerful act of resistance. The world wants you to believe that your worth is tied to how much you can do, how fast you can do it, and how much you can sacrifice. But by choosing rest and balance over overextension, you break free from this cycle of burnout. You no longer allow yourself to be defined by your productivity or your ability to meet external expectations. Instead, you choose to prioritize your well-being, your health, and your peace of mind. This decision is not one of laziness or disengagement. It is one of wisdom and self-respect. Choosing rest is a revolutionary act because it challenges the belief that success requires constant sacrifice. It is an affirmation that you are worthy of rest, that you are worthy of balance, and that your value is not dependent on how much you can give before you break. This calm, steady energy is disruptive, not because it is loud, but because it refuses to participate in the systems that thrive on chaos and overwork. The more you embody this calm presence, the more you challenge the status quo. When you choose rest over exhaustion, you send a powerful message to the world that there is another way to live, a way that honors your inner peace and well-being. You begin to show others that it is possible to succeed without burning out, to lead without overexerting, and to live without constantly striving. This is the true power of calm. It disrupts the systems that keep people stuck in cycles of stress and burnout, and it creates space for new, healthier ways of living and leading. As you choose alignment over struggle and calm over chaos, you will notice that your energy shifts in ways that attract positive change. You stop chasing after external success and begin to focus on creating a life that is aligned with your values and purpose. This shift creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to follow your example. People are drawn to calm-centered individuals because they provide a sense of stability and security in a world that often feels unpredictable and chaotic. When you choose to live with inner security and to embrace the disruptive power of calm, you become a leader, not through force or domination, but through your steady presence and unwavering commitment to your truth. The choice to reject external validation and embrace inner security is not an easy one. It requires you to trust in yourself, to let go of the need for constant affirmation, and to step into a new way of living that is rooted in your authenticity. But as you make this choice, you will find that the world begins to respond to you in a completely new way. You will no longer be chasing after approval or recognition. Instead, you will become a beacon of authenticity, trust, and peace, attracting the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life. And as you continue to embody this calm, steady energy, you will disrupt the systems that are built on pressure and fear, creating a life that is not only successful, but deeply fulfilling. As you continue to walk in alignment with your true self, you may begin to notice a shift not only within yourself, but also in the world around you. This shift is not just a personal transformation. It is part of a much larger collective evolution that is taking place. As individuals begin to step away from the pressure-driven systems that have long governed our lives, the collective energy starts to change as well. The old systems, which were built on struggle, fear, and scarcity, begin to lose their grip on those who choose a different path. When you stop feeding into these systems, when you stop allowing yourself to be swept up in the frantic pace of modern life, you become part of a collective movement toward peace, alignment, and authentic living. The power of walking away from the old ways cannot be overstated. For so long, society has told us that success and worth are determined by how much we can produce, how fast we can move, and how much we can sacrifice. These systems have created environments where stress, overwork, and burnout are the norm, and where the worth of an individual is often tied to their ability to conform to these pressures. But when you choose to step away from these systems, when you decide that you will no longer allow yourself to be defined by constant hustle, you create a shift in the very energy that drives the world around you. This is not just a personal act, it is a collective one. As more and more individuals choose alignment over struggle, the systems that once thrived on pressure begin to weaken. The more people who refuse to participate in the hustle, who choose peace over panic, the more the collective energy shifts toward a new way of being. It is like a domino effect. One person decides to let go of the need for constant approval, and others are inspired to do the same. Slowly but surely, this movement grows, and the pressure-driven systems begin to crumble. This is the power of walking away from the old ways. When you choose to align with your truth, you not only transform your own life, but you also contribute to the collective evolution toward a more peaceful, purposeful, and authentic existence. Reclaiming autonomy is at the heart of this shift. As you let go of the need to conform to systems that demand your energy and sacrifice, you begin to reclaim your personal freedom. No longer are you bound by the rules and expectations that were imposed upon you by society. No longer do you need to prove your worth by how much you can give, how much you can do, or how much you can endure. You are free to live on your own terms, guided by your inner wisdom and aligned with your divine purpose. This freedom is not just about choosing a different way of living. It is about embracing your right to exist fully without the constant pressure to achieve or perform. The systems that have long dictated how we live often equate worth with suffering. They tell us that if we are not struggling, we are not doing enough. But when you step away from this narrative, you begin to see the truth. Worth is not tied to struggle. Your value is inherent, and it is not something that can be earned or taken away through effort or sacrifice. You are worthy simply because you exist, and that truth is the foundation upon which you can build a life of true freedom. Choosing not to struggle is an act of profound evolution. It is an evolutionary act because it challenges the very foundation of the systems that have been in place for centuries. These systems have been built on the premise that we must constantly work hard to prove our worth, that we must sacrifice our well-being in the pursuit of success. But when you choose to reject that narrative, when you choose to live with intention and alignment, you are stepping into a new era, a new way of being. This is not a small decision. It is an act of rebellion against the status quo, and it is an act of courage. It is the courage to live differently, to choose peace over pressure, and to redefine success on your own terms. However, this act of evolution often triggers discomfort, especially in environments that are built on control and expectation. When you reject the societal norm of struggle and sacrifice, you may find that those around you do not always understand or support your decision. The systems that are built on pressure thrive on compliance, and when you refuse to participate, it can feel like you are disrupting the natural order. People may question your choices, and you may face resistance from those who are still entrenched in the old way of living. But this discomfort is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. In fact, it is often a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Freedom, by its very nature, triggers discomfort in controlled environments. Those who are still bound by the systems of struggle and sacrifice may feel threatened by your choice to step outside of them. They may question your decision to embrace rest, to prioritize well-being, or to live without constantly striving for external validation. But remember, this discomfort is not a reflection of your choices. It is a reflection of the systems that are no longer serving you. As you continue to embrace your autonomy and step into alignment, you will find that the discomfort gradually fades, replaced by a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. You are no longer at the mercy of these systems. You are free to live on your own terms, and that freedom is a gift. This journey of reclaiming autonomy is one of the most empowering aspects of your personal evolution. When you stop allowing the pressure-driven systems to dictate how you live, you begin to create space for true freedom to flourish. You are no longer bound by the expectations of others, and you are no longer defined by what society tells you is successful. Instead, you are free to define your own success based on your own values, beliefs, and desires. This is the essence of reclaiming autonomy. It is the freedom to live authentically, to align with your truth, and to create a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. As you continue on this journey, remember that the discomfort you may feel is a necessary part of the process. It is a sign that you are breaking free from the chains of outdated systems and stepping into a new way of being. The world around you may not always understand your choices, but that is okay. You are not here to conform to the expectations of others. You are here to create a life that is true to who you are, and in doing so, you will inspire others to do the same. Your journey toward autonomy and alignment is not just for you, it is for the collective as well. By choosing peace over pressure, by rejecting the systems that equate worth with suffering, you are contributing to the evolution of the world around you. In this process of personal evolution, You are not just breaking free from the old systems, you are creating a new world. A world where freedom, authenticity, and alignment are the guiding principles. A world where individuals are no longer defined by struggle, but by their inner peace and clarity. And as you continue to walk this path, remember that your freedom is not just about living for yourself. It is about inspiring others to reclaim their autonomy as well. When you step into your power and choose a life of alignment, you are creating space for others to do the same. And together, we can build a world where peace, purpose, and authenticity are the true measures of success. As you continue your journey of transformation and alignment, one of the most profound realizations you will come to understand is the immense power of authenticity. In a world that often celebrates performance over presence, where success is too frequently measured by the ability to perform or fit in, the true power of transformation lies in the simple act of being yourself. The importance of authenticity cannot be overstated. It is the foundation upon which all lasting change is built. As you embrace your true self fully and without apology, you will notice that your influence grows naturally, effortlessly, and without the need to constantly explain or prove yourself. This is the essence of true transformation. It is not about convincing others of your worth or your abilities. It is about living in such alignment with your truth that your presence alone speaks volumes. True transformation leads to credibility in a way that does not require you to perform or justify your every action. In fact, the more authentic you are, the less you will need to explain yourself to others. Your actions will naturally align with your values, and your authenticity will create a powerful sense of trust. People are drawn to those who are genuine because they sense the integrity that underlies every word and action. When you are living in alignment with your truth, you no longer need to prove yourself. Your actions speak for themselves, and the credibility you've earned is not based on how much you do or how many accolades you collect, but on the deep consistency between who you are and what you do. Consistency in actions and values is the key to building trust. The world may constantly push you to achieve more, to do more, and to prove your worth through external achievements. But in the quiet consistency of living according to your principles, you build trust faster than any amount of overwork or performance could. Trust is built on the reliability of your actions, the way you consistently show up as your authentic self, day in and day out. People trust those whose actions reflect their values, whose words align with their deeds. This consistency creates a solid foundation of respect and trust, and it is far more powerful than any fleeting success that is built on the need to constantly prove oneself. As you continue to align your actions with your truth, you will find that trust naturally follows, and the people who are drawn to you will do so not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. The ripple effect of aligned leadership is another powerful aspect of your personal transformation. When you lead with authenticity, when you stand firm in your values and operate from a place of truth, your influence will begin to spread quietly but powerfully. Aligned leadership is not about making noise or forcing your way into people's lives. It is about leading with purpose and clarity, and in doing so, inspiring others to follow suit. Your influence grows not because you are pushing it, but because it emanates from the very essence of your being. People are drawn to the authenticity and steadiness of aligned individuals, and they feel safe and inspired in their presence. This ripple effect is the key to long-term impact. When you live authentically, when you lead with integrity and consistency, you create a space for others to do the same. This is how movements are born, how cultures shift, and how legacies are created, not through loud declarations or dramatic performances, but through the quiet power of authentic leadership. As you continue to show up as your true self, you will notice that the people around you begin to shift as well. They begin to mirror your authenticity, your calm, and your consistency, and they too become leaders in their own right. This is the beauty of authentic leadership. It creates an environment where others feel empowered to step into their own truth and leadership. True leadership is not about accumulating followers, it is about inspiring others to lead too. The influence of aligned individuals spreads naturally like ripples in a pond, touching the lives of those around them in ways that are often unseen and unnoticed. But these ripples are powerful. They create lasting change because they are based on authenticity, trust, and a steady presence. The people who are drawn to your leadership are not following you because of your accomplishments or your accolades. They are following you because they see something in you that resonates with their own inner truth. They trust you because you have earned that trust through your consistency, your authenticity, and your commitment to living with integrity. The creation of a legacy is not a singular achievement. It is the result of living authentically and leading with purpose over time. A legacy is built on the foundation of trust and authenticity, and it grows through the quiet influence of consistent action. This is how lasting impact is made, not by seeking recognition, but by showing up as your true self day after day and trusting that the work you are doing is meaningful. As you continue on your journey, you will see that your legacy is not built on how much you accomplish or how many people know your name. It is built on the authenticity with which you live, the trust you have cultivated, and the steady, purposeful presence you have shared with others. When you live in alignment with your highest self, you create a life that speaks for itself. Your actions, your words, and your energy all align with your deepest values, and this alignment is what leaves a lasting imprint on the world. People may forget what you said or what you did, but they will never forget the way you made them feel. The legacy you create is not one of performance, it is one of authenticity, trust, and purpose. It is the legacy of a life lived fully and truthfully, a life that has inspired others to do the same. In creating this legacy, you also create a lasting impact on the collective. As more and more individuals step into their own authenticity, the ripple effect of aligned leadership grows. Each person who chooses to lead with integrity, to live authentically, and to trust in their own inner wisdom contributes to the creation of a world that is based on authenticity, trust, and purpose. This is how collective transformation occurs, not through force or coercion, but through the quiet power of authentic leadership. The more people who embrace their true selves, the more the world shifts toward a place of peace, alignment, and harmony. As you continue to lead with authenticity and build a legacy of trust, remember that the impact you are making is far greater than you may realize. It is not measured by how many people follow you or how much you achieve. It is measured by the lives you touch, the hearts you inspire, and the legacy you leave behind. Trust in the power of your authenticity and know that the influence you create will continue to ripple outwards, touching the lives of others long after you are gone. This is the true power of authentic leadership. It is quiet, it is steady, and it is lasting. And as you continue to lead with authenticity, trust, and purpose, you will find that the impact you create is one that will shape the world for generations to come. As you stand at this pivotal moment, it is important to remember that everything you have experienced has led you here right at the threshold of divine confirmation. This is not simply a fleeting moment. It is a powerful affirmation of the divine purpose that has been unfolding within you all along. The attention you are receiving, the recognition that is growing around you, is not by accident or coincidence. It is the universe's way of confirming that you are in alignment with your higher purpose. The doors are opening, the path is being cleared, and the shift toward greater influence and impact is already taking place. This moment of recognition is not a culmination of your efforts. It is a confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Trust in this moment. Trust in the divine timing that has brought you to this point, and know that you are walking in the fullness of your purpose. Embrace this journey of alignment and growth. The divine purpose within you is not something that will unfold in a single day or through a single achievement. It is a continuous process, a path of becoming, and you are already on it. The growth you have experienced up until now, the transformation that has been taking place within you, has been preparing you for the greater influence and impact that lies ahead. This is not a time to slow down or question your progress. It is a time to lean into the process, to trust that the shift you are experiencing is not just happening on the surface, but is deeply rooted in your inner transformation. As you continue to align with your truth, you will find that the influence you have always been destined for will begin to expand naturally. The world around you will begin to respond to your presence, your energy, and your authenticity. This is the moment when your alignment with God's purpose will begin to manifest in ways you may not yet fully understand. But take comfort in knowing that the shift has already begun. The momentum is building, and everything you need is already being put into place. All that is required of you now is to remain in full alignment with your truth, with your divine purpose. Do not allow distractions, doubts, or fear to pull you off course. Trust that the universe is guiding you every step of the way. You are not alone on this journey. You are supported by the divine, and your actions are part of a larger plan that is unfolding in perfect timing. As you continue down this path of alignment, purpose, and intentional living, I encourage you to embrace the power of your authenticity. It is not in trying to be something you are not, or chasing after validation from the outside world that your true influence will emerge. It is in embracing who you truly are, and living in alignment with your core values and beliefs that your impact will become undeniable. Your authenticity is your greatest asset. It is the magnet that will attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences into your life. Trust in your journey and the power that comes with being unapologetically yourself. Your inner peace will become the foundation of lasting influence. When you are at peace with who you are, when you are grounded in your truth, you radiate a sense of calm and certainty that others can feel. This energy is magnetic. It draws people in and encourages them to step into their own truth as well. You do not need to force influence or manipulate situations. Simply by being aligned with your purpose, you will create a ripple effect that inspires others to live authentically and embrace their own journey of transformation. Remember, you are already on the path to fulfilling your divine destiny. Everything you need is already within you, and the world is waiting for you to step into the fullness of your power. Continue to walk this path with trust, confidence, and a deep knowing that the divine purpose within you is unfolding exactly as it should. Your impact is not measured by external achievements or recognition. It is measured by the authenticity with which you live and the positive energy you radiate into the world. Keep moving forward, stay aligned, and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The world is ready for your influence. Let it shine.